Hi everybody, good afternoon. I am Sam Ellis and my colleague Cara is here too. So hopefully now, Jim, give me the thumbs up. Cara, give me the thumbs up that you can see what we need to see.
I'm still Martin. I'm not offended by you calling me Jim, but
Interchangeable. People, there we go. All right, so welcome. Thank you very much for joining. We'll be with you for the next 45 minutes. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a bit of a duff slot, this 1 o'clock till 1:45, where you might actually be feeling that you want to have a nap anyway. But we're going to be encouraging you to stay awake and listen to the reasons why absolutely a nap is a great idea for you, your businesses, for your employer brand, for a number of reasons. So our question is, are you willing to close your eyes to open your mind to reap all sorts of benefits? So let me tell you a little bit about ProNappers. We are a small group of people who've been around working together for over a year or so. And our mission is not a small one. It really is to get the world napping, but relevant to you guys, it's to normalise napping in your work day. Now, a year ago, we were talking to businesses about designing nap spaces and running workshops and really doing things in the workplace. Now the workplace is the home, but actually you can still bring a nap in for your own personal recovery, performance, and well-being. So our mission is to spread that word. And you can see Cara here on the right-hand side when we were featured in the Financial Times back in February talking about the business reasons to really look seriously at napping as part of your well-being provision. So, actually, this is a snap from Cara's LinkedIn post. Cara, do you want to tell us about this?
Yeah, hello everybody, and lovely to have you all listening to us today rather than having your naps. So this post, as you can see, had 95,000 views at that point. It's nudging up to 100,000 views. And this post was one that I wrote about how we are all feeling more weary at the moment. So during the pandemic, there's been some research that says 38% of us in the UK are more weary than we were previously. And we'll go into some of the reasons why that's the case now. But one of the reasons is that we're not sleeping so well at night. And that could be for stress, because we're stressed or we're anxious, or because we're actually not getting enough hours in bed, because the only time that we can actually do some good work is late at night or really early in the morning. So we're not actually in bed for very long. And the World Sleep Society said that their number 2 tip for getting a better night's sleep was to have a nap during the day. So phenomenal interest at the moment.
Fantastic. But you might be there, all sort of 30 of you, thinking, maybe, maybe not, kind of interested, convince me. So that's what we're here to do today. Now, what I'm going to do is really ask you to pin your colours to the mast and tell us what your attitude to napping is right now. And I'm going to throw up 10 statements on the left-hand side of this slide. And it would be really interesting to know where you are now. So are you at the top, which is, I think you must be slightly bonkers. Really, is this something I need to be spending my time and energy on? Through to, no, there's something around it being lazy. I like to power through, so probably not. Maybe I might, but I've got a feeling that I might feel a bit dodgy afterwards. I guess it's a good thing, but not kind of for people like me. It's only for creative types. Okay, yeah, I've heard a nap can be helpful. I'm now down the positive side of the spectrum. I absolutely do think about having a nap when I need to recover. I do nap, and I've noticed it lifts my mood and my energy through to, go to recharge tool, absolutely through to a complete advocate. I nap every day to be at my best. So I was going to invite you on your annotate function to, if you go next to view options, next to the screen, you should be able to pull down a menu of tools that allows you to make your mark directly on the Zoom slide. So on the annotate function, you should see stamps and you'll see text and all sorts. So if you could just give me, yay, fantastic. So Cara's gone in there, and she does nap absolutely every day to be at her best. Thanks. So Martin's in there as well. Martin's at number 6. Great. So make your mark on our slide directly. We'd love to see where you're up to. God, tell us your opinion. We can interact, we can find out where you really are. Has everyone got the ability, Martin, to interact?
Yes, they should have. We've also got Lisa and Sarah. Lisa's at a 4 and Sarah's at a 7.
I
Yes,
can
there you
see
go.
that.
It should just work, and if it doesn't, then it's
okay. We'll move on. Yeah, great.
all works later.
Thank you, Lisa. So Lisa's a 4. Okay, we can deal with that groggy issue, Lisa. I promise. Thank you very much for that. Sarah's a 7. Good. Well, hopefully we'll move you from thinking about it to actually doing something about it. All right. Okay. There may be some people out there desperately trying to work out how to annotate. If you can't, don't worry. I'm sure the whole point is that you have an opinion. And what we're here to do today is to move you lower down to a higher number to give you a sense of why it's such an important tool for your recovery and your performance management. So let me just clear those lovely hearts and marks off the screen and we'll keep going. All right. So there you are right now. Let's just see if I can move forward. Okay, so Cara, tell us what we're going to do today.
Yeah, so perhaps you could just pop the text up on the left-hand side as well. So we're going to be going over the 7 reasons why you need to focus on napping now more than ever. We'll dip into some of the evidence that you need. So those are really the benefits that you're going to get from having a nap, which are all scientifically proven. How we at ProNappers can support you to implement a culture that embraces napping in your organisation, and where you can go yourself to have your nap during the day, whether you're in the workplace or working from home.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's kick off with those 7 reasons to think about napping right now.
So the first reason is that 4 out of 5 of us don't get 8 hours sleep that we really need, and that detriment to our sleep is costing European economies about 2% of our GDP, which is actually a phenomenal amount. And what we'd like to do, if there are enough people listening in right now and not having a nap, is to get a snapshot of how many hours did you sleep last night. So hopefully you can now see the poll. And if you can click the button, and it isn't anonymous, and submit, then we will collate the results of this live poll.
That's about half of you. We're going to get a few seconds more.
Fantastic. Great that that's working.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's end it there. So I don't know if you can see that shared. So we've got 38% had 6 to 7 hours, 38% had 7 to 8, 15% had less than 6 hours, and we had 1 person, or 8%, had 9 hours plus. So lucky.
Ah, excellent. Can you throw that on the screen at all, Martin, just to visualize that? Oh yeah,
there we go.
Awesome. There we go. Fantastic. Okay.
So that's showing us, if you take the 7 to 8, if we split that in half, so that would be about 20%. So you've got 40, 50, 60. So about 75% of people on the call, well, more than that, got less than 8 hours sleep last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is having a detrimental effect to your productivity and your well-being. Just one simple night. So then let me just go on to the next reason. There we go.
Okay, so it's all very well listening to Sam and I, but the experts out there are telling us that we need to nap. And I'm sure that you will all have been really familiar with the book that was an absolute bestseller phenomenon last year, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. And he designated a whole chapter of his book to sleep, to napping, I beg your pardon, because napping forms part of your 24-hour sleep provision. And he said, and I'm going to read it out, by any metrics of business success, creating the necessary conditions for employees to obtain enough sleep during the day should be thought of as a new form of physiologically injected venture capital. So there we have it, straight from the expert's mouth.
Number 3.
Okay, so as I alluded to earlier, life under lockdown means that we are more weary than before and we are sleeping less, and sleeping pill prescriptions actually on the rise. We're not using our commuting time to rest. If anything, there's been a growth in what we're calling virtual visibility. So people are clocking on and clocking off and working longer. And I think it's official that the working day has now been extended by almost an hour prior to lockdown. So we are weary and we're tired. And one way to mitigate that is by topping up on your nighttime sleep during the day with a power nap.
So they're the first three reasons. Number 4 is about the business cost of making a bad decision and leaving tired employees to just try and power through during the day. So the cost of bad decisions is really a huge driver to consider allowing napping as part of your personal well-being portfolio. Just 3 very poor nights sleep is actually, or less than 6 hours, is the cognitive equivalent of being mildly drunk, which is proven, which is a huge thought when you think about it, because you'd never go to work mildly drunk, hopefully. But the whole point is that we don't allow employees to make very important decisions, you know, when they're drunk, but we do expect them to do that when they're actually tired. So a really important reason is to get 20 minutes out of your day to be able to make those highly complex or very important decisions in the afternoons. Number 5 is because if we don't look after our sleep portfolio, which means our nighttime and our daytime rest, we will effectively be corroding from the inside. Chronic sleep deprivation has the same physiological effects as stress. And we all know, we've spent years now talking about the impact of stress and how as businesses we are supporting our people through all sorts of initiatives. But actually the contribution to being chronically underslept is a massive part of the stress that people are feeling. So again, number 5, it's killing us not to pay attention to the fact that there is a solution hiding in plain sight to reduce our cortisol levels.
So you might think, well, isn't the solution then just to get more sleep at night? And I'm sure lots of you will have the best of intentions of how to get a better night's sleep, from blackout blinds to ensuring that you've got lovely bed linen and a comfy bed. But real life gets in the way of those all-important 8 hours sleep at night. So whether you've got that racing mind, whether you're disturbed by external disturbances, whether it's street lights, sirens, perhaps a snoring partner, or a wife who's going through the menopause and has night sweats, or perhaps it's just that we are all only human after all. We do binge watch Netflix and we do like a glass of wine, and you might have a curry, or you might have a newborn baby, or you're a carer, or you might even have teenagers that tumble in late at night. So whatever the reason, it's really hard to get those 8 hours sleep at night, despite knowing what we need to do.
We talk about napping as being a healthy sleep snack. We all know how to eat well, a perfectly balanced plate 3 times a day, but we just don't do that because real life gets in the way. So we snack to get through our days. So try and think about a nap as a healthy sleep snack. So one of the reasons we really need to look at napping seriously is because it is a natural human way of managing our effectiveness. And it's only in the last couple of 100 years that things like the light bulb, timepieces, air conditioning units have squeezed out our natural desire to nap. And it was actually 1748, and Benjamin Franklin said, "Time is money." And that was the death knell of the nap, because people started to equate the working day, as many hours as you worked, with efficiency, instead of accommodating the natural basic activity cycle. So we know we're meant to nap. We're meant to be working hard and recover, concentrate and rest. Going back to cavemen, we're supposed to hunt and then regroup. And we just don't honor that natural cycle that we should be. It's free, doesn't have any side effects. You don't need to learn it. It's not like mindfulness, which people perceive as being quite hard but important. But you don't need any learning. and it has a huge number of benefits.
So here are some of the very many nap benefits. So whether you notice that after your nap that you've got more concentration, more focus, that you feel more motivated, generally more alert, whether you're going to be able to work faster, make fewer mistakes, those are some of the performance benefits. But there are lots of other benefits. For example, you will be in a better mood. So whether that's being more tolerant of co-workers, being more open to feedback, or whether you've simply just got more energy and patience left in the tank at the end of the day when you need to engage with your family, having a nap during the day is a really good idea.
So we've actually put together some proof packs, and we have taken all the available science and really distilled that down into an absorbable form, whether you're looking to convince your budget holders that you can improve the accuracy of decisions that are being made. We work with law firms, we work with banks where attention to detail of this type is exceptionally important. So whatever business measure you are really looking to improve, there will be some science behind it, we're happy to say, but actually it's quite difficult to get at, and we can produce these proof packs for you. We're very delighted to have on our team Dr. Greg, who is our own biohacker. He's a chronobiologist, and so knows more about when we should sleep and how we should sleep than anyone we've ever met. And we're also working with Birkbeck University to put together our own definitive study. Now, this has been slightly put on hold given COVID, but we are forming a consortium of interested parties who are looking to create a definitive body of knowledge to be able to articulate the workplace performance benefits of an afternoon nap on healthy individuals. So watch this space for that one, or get in touch if you're interested. Now, we talked earlier about we'd like to suggest how we can help you, and the way we work with organisations is to put napping fairly and squarely in that bottom right-hand quadrant of provisions that you are offering your people. You know, as forward-thinking businesses, you want to be, your employer brand needs to have a fabulous list of everything on this page, no doubt. And we know that a lot of the businesses that we are working for are looking at everything on that right-hand side right now in terms of the home care support. So the advice about sleeping, the advice about eating, support for exercising, local exercising, mindfulness, etc. And the permission, the cultural acceptability for you to manage your own energy levels. And if a nap is what you need, then a nap is what you take. Really useful, a very recent report came out from one of the global consulting firms, which said that one of the 5 key drivers of making a well-being strategy stick in an organization was to let people choose which initiative they wanted to balance their lives for them. And we know that napping is such an inclusive offer, whether you're at the older end of the spectrum, as Cara mentioned, you're dealing with health concerns, the younger end where you're dealing with a new family, or you've just had too much of a good life. It works for everybody. It's a very progressive and inclusive way to think about your well-being provision. Now, in the olden days, I would just say we used to design spaces like this. Olden days, isn't it? Before March, I suppose. In fact, there are still organisations that we're talking to, and fabulously, people like the Health Service and the Fire Service are interested in really adding a desirability to their napping spaces. But we know there is a real journey around how to have a successful nap, how you feel, how to have that nap, and how to come out of the other side. So, I should actually say, in the desirability, when we talk to businesses, we say to them, look, there's a little bit of kit that makes it quite fun as well and gives you a starting point. Even though everybody knows how to nap, it's quite useful to be given some masks, and we have our own bespoke formula inhaler. Cara's got hers there too. Cara, do you want to explain what's in it?
Yes, so our inhaler that we've developed at ProNappers is a bespoke and unique blend of 3 aromatherapy oils. And unlike the aromatherapy oils that you might have at night, which are designed to help you sleep for that all importantly through the night, this aroma blend has got 2 oils which are designed to help you relax and quieten your mind. And importantly, it's got a special kicker oil, so that when you wake up after your, or come round after your 20-minute nap, you will feel alert and refreshed and raring to go.
So in the bottom left-hand corner of that screen there, you can see our phone. We have some nap meditations that are available on our website. So if you need some help in drifting off, having that peace, but feeling confident that you're going to wake up after 20 minutes, no longer, then you will, using our meditations. And we also have some collateral there. There's a little green card that, again, people putting on their desks to say, I've gone for a nap, I'm looking after myself, I'm recharging my brain, why aren't you?
So obviously many of you will be working from home at the moment. So actually any stigma about feeling embarrassed has been kicked into touch. So there's really no excuse for you not to be able to go and have a nap during your working day. So as Sam said, it's really important that you only nap for 20 minutes. I have found, and many others have too, that even just shutting your eyes for 5 or 10 minutes can have the same effect. So it doesn't even have to take the whole 20 minutes. It's certainly just as quick as going into the kitchen, making another cup of coffee and drinking it. So 20 minutes, where to go? Go somewhere comfortable. It may be that you need to go and nap in your bedroom, but please don't get under the duvet and get too cozy, because that's going to entice you to perhaps sleep for longer than 20 minutes. And what you need to do is you need to give yourself permission. That's the most important thing, is giving yourself that permission that what you're doing for those 10 to 20 minutes is the most important thing that you can do for your own well-being and for a more productive afternoon and for better relationships.
So we're starting to get through to leaders who are, we're talking about empowering leaders, we're talking about leaders role modeling great self-management, and this is a wonderful way if you can encourage some of your leadership set to start demonstrating this and to share the stories of their benefits and how productive they have felt afterwards. That's always a great way to support well-being in your business.
So we have got an infographic. It's lovely and colourful, as you can see. It includes a circadian rhythm, which shows that we're biphasic sleepers with a natural urge to nap after lunch. It gives you some clues that you can answer to see whether a nap really could be the thing that you need right now to help you. And if you would like to download our infographic, we've got a really nifty little digital tool here. And if you scan that QR code with your phone, it should go straight to an email to Sam and I, and pop your details in the email, send it over to us, and we'll make sure that you get hold of this infographic. Yeah. So I don't know, Martin, if you could just hold that QR code there for a moment. I think
Martin, are you holding your phone up there? Are you holding it?
Making sure it worked, actually. I just did, and it does. It does straight away. It goes straight away to it. So yeah, it's very good.
Fantastic. Good to know. Fantastic. Okay.
Perfect.
So, great. Well, listen, let's get these numbers and attitudes up. That was only 25 minutes, but I hope there is enough logic, enough science, enough example in there to say it is something that's worth going slightly lower down that chart now. Hopefully we've addressed your comment, Lisa, about feeling groggy. That's 20 minutes. It's useful for everybody. It will lift your mood. It will lift your performance, whatever you are looking to achieve. And as Cara said, it's about permission, your own permission, your family's permission, your business permission, the cultural permission. And it's our mission to change that for the world at large.
And if you need an extra incentive right now, there's a lot of research that shows that a well-rested body gives you improved immunity and also responds better to the effectiveness of any vaccines. So I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. So napping really could be a really good thing to start doing right now.
Yeah. So what we do is we provide e-learning materials for your people. So if you need some help to add to your employer brand, your EVP, so that you've got a really interesting message, a really competitive and differentiated message out there, actually saying we support our people with their natural circadian rhythms, their natural productivity rhythms, we'd be delighted to supply some e-learning materials that you can have and roll out as needed. So that's it. Thank you very much. I happily have already got some fantastic feedback on LinkedIn. So Marlene, OJ, thank you very much for getting in touch directly. But I'll hand back to Martin and Jim to say.
I was going to ask if anybody's got any questions, then effectively just pop into the Q&A. If not, I guess I'm going to ask that. Obviously, you provide this service and people can come and talk to you about it. If I was working on my own somewhere, there is anything I can do to encourage my boss to allow me to take a nap? And I think that's the thing, isn't it? It can sometimes grow a bit more organically. That I can't quite picture if I was in Jim's office, for example, in Palatial Towers there, if I had a little nap in the corner, people would definitely talk. And I'm thinking about a client of mine actually who thought his team were asleep at the best of times, and he's very old school. How would an individual go about just sort of raising awareness, apart from, or would the QR code help with that?
I think one of the answers to that, Martin, goes back to what we were saying about an inclusive wellbeing provision. And some people don't want to go to the gym. Some people don't want discounted cinema tickets. Some people don't want the yoga class. What some people want is a nap. I know that I spoke to a solicitor recently who was a mum, and she said in the afternoons she is so weary that she works more slowly in order to make sure she doesn't make any mistakes. She gets other people to double check her work. And she knows that if she went to her HR team and said, gosh, I'm so tired, they might say to her, well, look, if you're really feeling that tired, why don't you go home for the afternoon? And she said, but I don't want to go home. This is in the office days, for the afternoon. I just want somewhere where I can shut my eyes for 20 minutes, because I know when I come round again, I'm going to be so effective and so productive. And another benefit we haven't actually mentioned that you can use with stakeholders is that sometimes the best ideas, the most creative ideas, happen on that point where you're hovering between sleep and wakefulness. So if you work in a creative industry, then having a nap could be just the thing that you need for those eureka moments. And in fact, Lego is a really good example of where they have nap pods in the office. Does that help, Martin?
It does. It does. Yes, it does. I don't think it's going to change the view of the person I'm thinking of right now, but then he was a very shouty man.
The other thing is, if your stakeholder actually has his own private office,
he does.
Ask him what he does behind closed doors.
Jim knows who it is. I can't actually ask that. It's actually quite awkward. So no, I'm not going to ask.
So we have spoken to.
No, he's got glass walls for a reason.
We have spoken to senior people, and they say one of the benefits of having the private office is that they can shut their eyes when no one's looking.
Yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah, a story not for public consumption about something else. Anyway. If nobody's got any questions, I'm going to give you 30 seconds more. There's still a bunch of people here. If not, then I'm going to say thank you. But let's give them another minute.
I was going to say, has there been more of an uptake at the moment with more people working from home? Do you think that's accelerated the position of the benefits of it now? Because we're online more than ever.
Cara, do you want to?
Yes, I think the accessibility of working from home means that more people are having naps than previously. And I think one thing we hadn't mentioned yet is that you can nap at any time during the day, which obviously is very easy when you're at home. So if you have had a really broken night, or you are a lark and you start work really, really early, then people nap very early in the day. And I know I fall into that category, and I might have a nap at even 10 o'clock in the morning. Other people will nap after lunch with their natural circadian rhythm. And those people that say, well, I've got children at home, our answer to that is, well, get them napping too. And we've had feedback from clients who've said, gosh, that's such a good idea. So I go and lie on my bed and I make my children lie down beside me, and everybody benefits. And then we heard a new term the other day, which is something called the disco nap. So we're not exactly going to discos at the moment, but that nap that you have around 5 o'clock in the afternoon is really useful if you know that you're going to be working late. And I know one of my sons works US time zones, and he'll often have a nap around 4:30, 5 o'clock, so that he's still really sharp and at the top of his game at 9, 10 o'clock at night. So I think working from home has allowed people to nap whenever they need to and want to during the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Are you a napper, Jim?
Yeah, I would be. I've actually
work with him a lot, so he ought to be.
I'm asleep most of the time anyway. But no, I've had a thing called Bell's palsy, so it's actually meant I've been quite fatigued. So lunchtimes I have taken the nap there. It used to be what was called power napping, wasn't it? Really, we used to do years ago. So
there is a quick question actually from somebody whether you can have more than one nap in one day. Is that beneficial?
You can certainly have more than one nap in a day, but be wary if you're napping multiple times on most days. Be careful that that's not masking an underlying more critical sleep condition, and then you would need to go and check that out with the doctor. But certainly on some days, now and again, occasionally, I've had 2 naps in a day. So it's not never, but if you are noticing yourself dropping off at multiple points during the day for a number of days on end, then probably go and get that checked out.
It's not a chemical. Yeah, sorry,
Jim. I was just going to say, it has been noticed that there is no scientific proof that having a nap in the middle of the day will disturb your nighttime sleep. And a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to do that because I won't sleep well at night. But the reality of the situation is they attempt to power through, they pep themselves up in the afternoon with another caffeinated drink or a fizzy drink or chocolate or an earlier wine, maybe more wine, and they fall asleep on the sofa at 8:30. Now, maybe this is sounding, a little bit familiar to people. And what that means is that your afternoon is rubbish, your evening is non-existent, and actually you will sleep more fitfully anyway, because you might have been drinking, or you might just not be that physically tired. But if you give yourself that nap in the afternoon, you are firing on all cylinders in the afternoon, you'll be really efficient, do fantastic work, and by the time 5:30 comes around, you'll actually have a sense that you'll have something left to share with the people that you love. So you might go for a walk or play with the kids more, or actually go to that, go and kick a ball around. And that means you will tire the body and you will sleep well as well. So it won't interfere with your nighttime pattern as long as you're healthy as well.